Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 81 of Active Reload. I was gone last week, and Grant here hosted. We had Steven on. We had a very cool VR episode. Hey, look at that. I'm gone one week, and the best idea that we've probably had on this podcast arises. So that's kind of how it goes sometimes. It shows you how much I actually do around here.
It shows how much you bring us down.
Yep. I'm not an idea guy, I guess is what I
will say that I can't intro worth a damn.
Well,
so
you did the rest of it great.
Yeah.
You were a robot man.
Thanks.
Yeah. Welcome to episode 81. No more VR here.
Nah.
Okay? We're talking real games.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about a VR game soon, but.
So we're going to talk some Monster Hunter news. They had a pretty big opening couple of days. We had a couple open betas and alphas for multiplayer games around. And Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 3 and 4 gets its release details. We'll talk about that. And there's a lot of good games coming out this week as well. So we'll talk about those.
This whole month.
Yeah. Coming up. Episode 81. Welcome to the show.
Boom.
So it's a little light on news, I would say, this week. We don't have any groundbreaking stuff, but we do have a lot of releases, big releases this week in terms of high review rates, I guess.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the video game world. It doesn't have to be breaking news every week.
It's officially the start of... Is this Q1? Yeah, Q1, I would say, for video games in terms of like when the big releases come around.
Wouldn't this be the end of Q1?
But like the end of Q4 is when the big releases usually come. So
you're right.
The big time for Q1 is right around the corner, and this is kind of the beginning of the avalanche, if you will, because we got a lot of games coming out. This, in terms of a lot of really good games coming out this week.
A lot of games that were supposed to come out last year. Remember that were delayed.
Yes, they got pushed. Yeah. So we'll talk about those in just a little bit. Let's go ahead and get into some of the news we do have. Monster Hunter Wilds,
that game,
big, just like the monsters in it. They had a big time sell. They did a really good job. I did not think it was going to sell this much.
8 million units sold in 3 days.
That's a lot of units there.
It's one of the best selling video games of all time at this point.
Yeah. Definitely, almost certainly their best selling Monster Hunter game, I would say.
No, it's the best sell or the fastest selling Capcom game by far.
I believe that. I didn't think it was going to sell like this, to be honest with you, because I thought the advertising, the marketing they put together for it got a little long in the tooth, just like the monsters. But
it's just
it worked.
It's apparently a franchise that people love.
Yeah,
and it's only gotten better, and it's been around for a long time. However, very Japanese. So there's a lot. There's people in Japan love Monster Hunter.
Yeah, they freak over Monster Hunter. They're like,
obviously.
I can kill my Pokemon that turn into huge monsters. Wow, dude. I'd love that game.
I don't think you capture any of these.
Yeah, but they're like Pokemon.
They don't fit in your pocket.
They could.
You're right. They could.
Well, I mean, none of that Charizard wouldn't fit in your pocket. It's just a magical ball.
Yeah, if you can carry a sword the size of a house.
Right, exactly. And swing it and kill things with it. There are some Steam reviews. They're sitting at mixed right now.
Not because the game is bad or not because players think it's bad, but it's because...
Technical performance issues.
Again.
Who would have thought in the year 2025?
This needs to stop.
It's not going to stop. Sorry. The bigger they get, the more problems they're going to have. Just like the monsters.
Okay.
Can you imagine... Man, if because like animals can get cancer. Can you imagine how big like a cancerous cell inside of one of those monsters would look like? It'd be like, or like just like an inner organ, like a liver in one of those. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, I can. I played the game.
Kidney?
You actually do harvest their organs and their bones. Maybe not organs, but
just like normal. Where does it cross the line? I guess harvest bones is okay, but if you're like, hey, I'm harvesting this liver,
their heart.
Yeah, I'm harvesting this liver so I can make a backpack. That's you're like, this is kind of gross. Anyways, hey, if you want to do that in Monster Hunter, feel free. It's not for me. There's a couple of hot characters in the game, obviously, because it is a JRPG, and you would not make it without hot characters.
Out of all the videos I've watched, I'm familiar with Monster Hunter, so I've seen a lot of takedowns of big dinosaurs and dragons and big dog looking creatures and a whole bunch of stuff. But the most interesting I've seen so far are the amount of details that are in the camps. So watching your blacksmith do everything with her little cat. And it goes from grabbing the iron out of the fire.
It looks like they're actually blacksmithing.
Hammering. It just doesn't stop. It doesn't really loop.
Kingdom Come kind of had that a little bit too, didn't they? The Kingdom Come does a little bit of that. At least with like the physical labor ones, like the blacksmithing and stuff.
Big time. I think the Monster Hunter Wilds takes it to another degree, though.
Takes the cake.
I mean, I've sat and watched about 5 minutes of video of watching NPCs do their thing. Cooking dinner. It's amazing. A lot of detail.
You need to go outside. You need to go outside some more, bud. You watched a whole 5-minute video of an NPC just cooking dinner?
I did actually. Yeah, pretty much. That was, now that you say that.
That's weird. But that's okay.
Well, not everybody can go to vacation 5 times a year.
Oh my gosh. It was great. 5 times a year? How dare you? I do it maybe twice. All right. I got to recharge the batteries every now and again. So yeah, it's selling like hotcakes, if you will. It looks great. I mean, it looks beautiful. As far as the technical, I don't know how much of the technical problems there are. There are some like microtransaction things that people apparently have issues with.
I don't know if I haven't confirmed this, but I have read that you can create your character in the beginning like you normally do. You can redo your character, change it, him or her. But if you do it a second time, you will be charged for it, or you can't do it unless you pay for it.
Isn't
that kind of crazy for a $70 video game? You can't change your character like anytime you want.
Yeah, I guess so. If you were to color? But if you were to make a new save, I took it as if you were to make a new save, you can still do it twice.
I don't know if that's what they mean, but
I don't know either.
From what I've read, it was just changing your character. Now, a save file, even that's egregious still too.
Yeah,
but
true.
But that wouldn't be the first time. No. That's happened with a couple other games before. Deus Ex.
Yeah, that was there was another one.
Probably
that
what killed Deus Ex franchise.
Rest in peace, Deus Ex. We're living you now. So yeah,
yeah, we are.
Monster Hunter. Shout out Monster Hunter. Good for them. Good for Capcom. You know, maybe they can go and make another Resident Evil now.
I'm sure they will.
That's Capcom, right?
Yes, that's Capcom. How about they just make a Mega Man game? I would love.
Didn't they? I thought they already made a Mega Man game recently.
Nope. Maybe. Nope.
All right.
Not a good one.
Shout out Mega Man.
Yeah.
They make a movie about. Oh wait, they made the show. That's right. They made the short.
They are going to be doing that one RPG Zelda-like game where you play a wolf in the Sumie art style.
Okami. That's
Okami.
Is that what it is? Yep. Okay. Wow, pulled that out from out of nowhere. I'll be honest with you. So yeah, shout out Monster Hunter. Big day. It's good to see them selling. Good to see a single player game too, really being successful. Like
yes,
this.
That's what I've heard. Monsters. I mean, I was playing World, and it really isn't that much fun with a single player portion or trying to do it by yourself.
I guess it's a campaign style single player game. Like you can play co-op, but it's campaign.
A lot of people that I followed have only played this in a single player way. And they've loved it.
Is it? I guess I'm wondering if it opens up after a certain point where, like, do you have a hub spot and then everybody's in there?
Yeah,
like the Division is the one.
I don't know about that. No, I don't think so. You basically call forth a friend.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Like Dark Souls.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
But a little more intuitive.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that was Monster Hunter. We had 2 big multiplayer games.
Yeah, I want to talk about this.
Had an open beta /alpha.
So out of nowhere, 2 big. One of my favorite or most anticipated games of the year, and one of James's most anticipated game of the year.
Yeah, true. It sucks that this was the one that I wanted to play was right when I was on vacation, and I couldn't.
You can still play it right now on PC though, and that is Mecha Break. Mecha Break has a demo, which leads me off the top what I want to talk about: betas, alphas, and demos. What the heck are the difference these days?
We're just using them for fun now.
I played the demo of Mecha Break, and I played the beta /alpha. They call it an alpha of Splitgate 2. I'll start with Mecha Break. I think it was really good. There is a tutorial in the beginning that helps a lot. Mm-hmm. Think of a normal mech game, just way faster.
Okay. Think of a normal mech game.
Yeah. Like Mech Warrior.
Okay. Mech Assault.
Mech Assault.
Okay.
There you go.
That's one I remember.
Okay. Just a lot faster.
Armored Core. That's slower.
Armored Core is more methodical. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Even though Armored Core can get fast sometimes.
Depends on your build.
Yeah, it's true. Now, the builds in this game are pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was able to pick a tank and then a sniper, and it was vastly different. It's a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
So it's an arena style multiplayer game. You're flying all over the place. You have a gas tank that recharges. That is going to mess you up constantly.
Okay.
If you don't manage your gas or your fuel, you're going to
recharges though your fuel.
Yeah, just like Armored Core.
Okay.
You remember playing Armored Core? You can't
saying.
fly forever.
Gotcha. Okay. Just for flying though. You don't need it for walking around and whatnot.
No.
Okay.
And dashing and stuff. You can't dash forever.
Okay.
You have to manage that pretty heavily. And if you don't, you get killed right away.
You got to play like Farah. Just go up every now and again, hover, come back down.
There are some characters or builds, I should say, that no, they're characters, I guess, that act exactly like Farah. Rockets, far away. I was picking, or I was more comfortable with the tank guy and just kind of tanking it.
Yeah.
Gets my drift.
Yeah,
although he was still very mobile. Very, very mobile. The game is...
I was going to say, is your tank still like dashing around like it's nothing? Okay, cool.
I just couldn't dash like a agility character.
This, dude, the more you talk about this, the more I'm just like, this is just Titanfall.
This
is awesome.
No, it's way more hectic than Titanfall. I
understand that.
The amount of noise on the screen. Maybe I shouldn't say noise. That's a derogative. I don't know. Maybe
stuff on the screen, just like
visual
UI
effects.
Okay.
Not UI, but visual effects is a little too much.
Okay.
That's my biggest complaint.
Give me like, what do you mean? Like rocket indicators that are inbound?
You couldn't tell where lasers were coming from, rockets were coming from. It's just, you're just moving away from things that are really in your face. It's hard to tell where they came from. So you see a rocket and you dodge it. You're like, who shot that? And by the time you figure out who shot it, you're dead.
You've got 3 of them on you.
Yeah, it's a little too much, but you might like it.
This is the perfect game for you kids out there that want to just rail Novocaine and get into a freaking multiplayer game. All right, this is for you.
It is a lot of fun. The more I played it, the better I got, of course. I didn't get frustrated with it. Your skill opens up.
Mm-hmm.
The character creator, fantastic.
Yeah.
Very good.
You do a pilot and the I'm going to call it a Titan for lack of
No, you can't create your Titan. You might be able to customize your Titan later. I think that's how they're going to do the monetization. But you basically have character types. It's like a hero shooter.
Yeah. But it's not a hero shooter.
Like I was the sniper. Shooter. The sniper had a name.
So it's like an operator.
Name. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes, it's a pilot. It's a human that you create, a man or a woman, and you can make the woman look fantastic.
Guys, this is like Titanfall. All right, the more we're talking about, this is just Titanfall.
It's
but
really
faster.
not.
It's awesome.
You can't get out of your mech. If you do, you die.
I wish you could get out of your mech though, and then you could jump around, and then they have like this mode called like attrition. That's really fun, and
pilots only.
Yeah, and then also when the end of the game, there's this like hovercraft that comes in, and then it takes you off planet.
Sadly, there's nothing like that, and it drives me crazy that multiplayer games have not figured that out.
That was really one of the coolest things about Titanfall. Wait, hold on, stop it. We can't talk about Titanfall.
No, I just want to say, I'm not going to talk about Titanfall, but I wanted to say that I played a lot of multiplayer games this week and the last week too. And every single one of them ends when the round ends. The whole thing ends. You stop where you're at.
Your screen just freezes.
And you move on to the next round.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying.
There is no ending.
Titanfall, Killzone 2 did this as well. Titanfall gives you an option to redeem yourself if you lost it in some sort of way. Like get to the dropship.
Yeah.
Yes,
Exfil.
the team deathmatch is now over, but you now have 1 life to get to a dropship, and we're going to wind this match
clock down. Yeah. And then you get bonus XP if you get out.
I don't know why no other multiplayer game has ever thought about
Call of Duty
this.
Would be great for that.
Exactly.
Like, they just wheel in like a
helicopter.
Yeah, a helicopter or like a half track based thing, and everybody's hopping in the back of it.
Just like they do with the Warzone Gulag.
Yeah, true.
Just do that with 16 players on the
Yeah, if you're doing it'd be 12, I guess, technically, if you're doing a normal match, because 6v6. So
why can't you do that?
That's a good point. They should do more of that, because that'd be so much fun.
It drives me crazy. Now, I was playing Splitgate 2. That came out of nowhere, by the way.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was going to come out.
Splitgate or
Splitgate 2
okay.
Alpha. They call it an alpha. Doesn't feel like an alpha.
No one really knows what they're called and why they're called this.
I mean,
anymore.
I played a beta once where it was practically a demo. It was just a beta for their servers. I'm like, what the heck are you doing?
Okay.
Like a server tests.
A demo beta.
Just call it a demo, for God's sake.
Yeah, we don't need to do the beta or alphas anymore, I don't think.
It doesn't. I remember when betas felt like betas.
Multiplayer demo.
All right. So Splitgate 2, I liked. I was a little disappointed with Splitgate 2. I like this. I like Splitgate 1 a lot. And it seems like this new game, the graphics look a lot better. Everything runs better, smoother. The weapons that you start with, I think, might be better. But the portals are really honed down. So they're basically, you can't snipe from far away through the portals.
Yeah.
It gets blurry the further away. You have to really get up close to really see through it.
Wait a minute. Can you stick your gun through a portal, but only your gun?
Yeah.
That's cool.
But people can still see you do that and shoot you.
But if the portal closes...
but you can like lean around the corner and...
So if the portal closes, does that half your gun get cut off? Oh, dang it. Cool.
And you lose your gun, you have to pull out melee. Yeah, that'd be awesome. No, so you can't really zip around in the maps that they showed like you could have in the first one. So it made me think that either it's a technical thing where they just can't have that many portals running with this new engine and the new graphics, or they really like hone down the ability to look through portals from really far away.
What they can be effectively, essentially.
Yeah. So I don't know about that. I used to snipe through a portal from like across the map.
Yeah.
You can't do that. There's no really lines of sight that make you shoot through a portal all the way across the map.
I was under the assumption that this game, you were creating the portals?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You have a portal A and portal B, basically.
Okay.
They also defaulted the two portals to be on one button, which I wasn't.
It's like C4 when you throw C4 and then it's the same button to detonate it.
So you have to keep track of your last one. You can switch it back, which I ended up doing to legacy controls or whatever, where LB was left portal, RB was right portal. I'm more familiar with that.
And then you walk through the left portal and you're backwards.
It was cross-platform with PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. Servers ran great. The time to kill is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of fun. But then another game came out of nowhere for me. Spectre Divide.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Shroud game. I don't know if he developed it, but
for those that don't know, Shroud is a streamer on Twitch, popular. I think.
Popular streamer, old Counter-Strike pro.
Yeah, he streamed forever. Kind of one of like the I would say 5 beginner like biggest streamers.
If you were to say like for a long time. Mount Rushmore or Godfathers, he'd be up
for
there.
Sure. Bad goatee though.
But I never gave this game a chance on PC. I don't think I really liked the 3v3 aspect. It's 3v3, but you have a Spectre or a ghost or a companion that you can like set. Think of Yoru from Valorant.
Valorant, yeah.
Or you can set your secondary guy to be somewhere and you can switch back to him. Everybody has that ability. It works out really well. The level design is designed so that can be possible to flank everywhere. It feels like Counter-Strike, but it has ADS and there's no movement penalty whatsoever outside of sniper rifles. Sniper rifles have a movement penalty.
Isn't that Counter-Strike's like that too, isn't it? Or
no, Counter-Strike has a harsh movement penalty for everything.
Okay, gotcha.
You have to counter strafe to even lower it smaller.
You have to counter strike.
Yeah, pretty much. And
I'm sorry.
I like this game a lot. I hope it has a new home on console, I guess, because the PC crowd is practically dead very quickly.
They're a Spectre in themselves.
This has a really good mechanic where it's a crew mechanic where it puts you in a team automatically of 64 players and you play casual or ranked.
You mean like a group?
Yeah, like a group.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
It puts you in a clan, basically.
Oh, okay.
And you get points and there's clan leaderboards. They call it crews.
They kind of did that.
I've never seen any game do this.
I'm sorry, I'm going to do this.
Go ahead.
I think they did kind of do something like that in Titanfall. Yeah, I think they did. Well, but it was like it was like a clan that they put. It's like a generalized.
It was an advocacy network or whatever.
Yeah,
and that was basically just to link up easier with a squad.
Yeah.
This is different. This is more like an actual. They put you in a clan, and then they give you clan points on how well you do.
Cool.
Even on unranked matches.
And you don't even have to be playing with them.
At the end of the week, you can either be promoted or you can get kicked out. I happen to be in the top 4 clan.
Wow.
It's called I can't remember what it was called, but they all have kind of funny names that they're obviously name generated.
Oh, okay. So it's like unorganized muffin.
Exactly.
Clan.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
Exactly.
Shout out Spectre Divide. Hey, maybe it will have a little bit of a longer.
James, I think you would love this game. This is a game that you would like. It's not a hero shooter.
Would I like it more than Mecha Break? Probably not.
I think that you and your brother would have a crew that would put together a good team in this game.
Maybe. Dude, the thing is though, with the constant fear of flanking, I hate that because I want to know.
It gives you audio cues.
Enemy mortar.
Won the round.
It tells you right away when
someone's Spectre has been changed or whatever.
When your Spectre can hear footsteps, it'll alert you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you can almost use your Spectre as a proximity.
Yeah, almost an alarm. Yeah.
But if they're crouch walking or walking, then you won't be.
If they shoot your Spectre,
you get notified,
but it doesn't kill you.
No, it doesn't.
Kills
it just kills your Spectre.
Okay,
it's basically a 6v6 game, except for only 3 people are controlling 2 characters.
Oh man, I can barely control 1 character, and now they're like, hey, we'll give you 2. How about that?
It does take a minute, but it doesn't. It doesn't take that long.
Okay, all right.
It
does sound cool. I mean,
the art direction is fantastic, though. I can't not mention this. The art direction is so good. The art style. It's very hand-drawn looking. It's so cool. Very gouache-like colors. So think like pastel-y colors.
What is gouache?
Gouache is a watercolor that can't be layered upon unless you're really good.
Okay.
That's how old
I've never heard that in my life.
Old graphic designers before digital artwork.
Before they were digital designers.
You would paint with gouache. Huh. Because if you put a drop of blue on top of a red, your painting is now ruined. It's a very
but not with gouache or with gouache.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a very fine color thing. It's a solid color on top of each other. Solid, or next to each other.
Oh man, let me tell you. When I was in 6th grade arts class, I was putting colors together like it was nothing because I was like, oh, this is what a color wheel is.
Yeah,
I gotta make sure that red and yellow don't make orange this time.
Yeah,
and then it always would.
You should try to avoid green and red. Or orange and blue, purple and yellow. Green
and red makes brown.
It'll make a brown, ugly color, yeah.
And then orange and what was the other ones? Orange and blue? Is that what you said?
These are opposite. These are.
Oh yeah, because they have to. Yeah. You're right. True.
Orange and blue, dude. Yellow and purple, or violet.
Yellow and purple make
They make brown. They all make brown.
Oh, they make brown. Wow. Why is brown such a
mix those color? 3 browns together, and you get like a earthy brown.
A poopy brown. No, everybody's afraid to say it looks like poop.
Yeah.
It's poopy brown. All right. Well, I've talked about poop in this episode.
What are we talking about? This is art school. This is Bob Ross here.
Yeah, this is a bad episode for me. I'll give myself a solid D+ right now. Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
There you go.
3 and 4. They're getting remastered. They had release dates revealed today. As of recording, today's the 4th, I think, right? Or whatever.
Well, this was leaked, wasn't it?
It was leaked, but then they, Activision went into full recovery mode. They were like, here it is. Hey, here's our trailer. And so it was leaked, and then they did that. So we got release dates. July 11th. That's the day after my birthday. Cool. July 11th coming out on PS5, 4, Xbox Series, and then Xbox One, Switch, and PC. It's launching day 1 on Game Pass.
Really?
Both of them. They want a Game Pass.
Well, they come together.
Yeah.
Well, 1 and 2 did the same thing.
Right.
Did you play that?
No. But okay, so here's the thing.
Very good.
Never been a huge Tony Hawk's Pro Skater guy.
I know where you're going with this.
I was never a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater guy. Came out the womb, and I said I want Skate, Mom, and so I've been playing Skate. That's been my skateboarding game.
Yeah.
Ever since. So I never really got into any of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games.
Well, it leaned more realistic. Tony Hawk is an arcade.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one thing I do remember, I think it's from 2, is the hangar map, like one of the most legendary maps of all time in any game.
It's the first level in part 2.
Yeah, and you fly through the glass. You can jump the little Hellcat or whatever that is, little Hellcat plane and stuff. I remember that because it's a very popular one, but that's like the only thing I remember from any of the Tony Hawk
You can open
games.
the secret compartment where there's an alien spaceship.
But so 3 and 4, did you play the Tony Hawk games?
I played 1, 2, and 3 and 4. I can tell you right now, I did not like 3 and 4 as much.
That was my question.
The formula started to get really annoying back in the day because I played 1 and 2. I mean,
religiously,
big time.
Yeah,
I was a big skater when I was younger. I played sports too. Don't hate me.
Why would anybody hate you for that?
I don't know. I guess
actually, you know what? I hate you for that.
The stigma of skateboarders is different from when I was little. When I was younger, it was like bad kids.
Oh yeah. You're anti-establishment.
You were like a alternate dude.
Yeah, I don't like team sports. That's
I liked
stupid.
punk rock music, and I skateboarded. And
which is so funny because you were like 9 years old, and you're like, I hate.
When I was 9 years old, I actually didn't. I had to pretend I didn't like it, but.
You had to pretend you didn't like it?
I loved Tony Hawk. When I was little, I loved Tony Hawk.
Like the guy or the
very
games?
first skateboard I ever got, me and my brothers, it was, those wide ones in the early 90s, like the fish-shaped ones.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a Steve Caballero, and I'm from California, so all those guys were huge for me.
Some would say you lived in the skateboarding capital of the world at that point in time.
Yeah.
That was huge for them. But yeah, they're getting a remaster for this game. They did 1 and 2. I think obviously it was pretty popular for everybody for them to come back and do 3 and 4.
It was great.
That's what I heard. I heard
the remaster or remake or whatever it was. It's fantastic. I played it the other day, actually. It'll
feature cross-platform online multiplayer. It feels like every single game that is being released today needs to have that at this point. More expensive versions. This will be fun.
Okay.
There's more expensive versions of the game. They have, the digital deluxe version because it's 2025. We all need that. They get early access. The standard edition is only $50.
Okay, yeah, that's how much it was last time.
Pretty cheap, all things considered. Digital deluxe will be $70, which is what like the standard edition of like 2K costs.
Yeah. What's in it?
The digital deluxe edition will include the Doomslayer and the Revenant from the Doom games as playable skaters, which I thought was kind of cool.
Spider-Man always made an appearance in these games.
So the question is, I guess from me, are we having a skateboard/skating game renaissance? Is it time for them to really re-emerge? Because the last one that got an official, not remaster release was, not the last one, but the one that really broke ground for everybody, I think, was probably Skate 3. And that was late 2000s, late aughts, if you will. 2009, I think, is when that game came out.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And since then, in terms, and what I mean by that is like Skate 3 got people like me who's never skated his entire life to play Skate. And I want to play Skate and I love Skate. It's a blast
really
of
good
a game.
Skate 1, 2, and 3. 3. I think 3 is more refined. We've talked about this before, but I like the city in 1 and 2 way better.
Yeah. But it definitely reached a much broader audience, and that's what I think we might be expecting on the horizon.
I mean, that's really exciting because when I was younger, there were no skateboarding games. Tony Hawk game came out, and then everybody started copying it. There was a game called Grind Session. There were one of my favorite games called Thrasher Skate and Destroy from the magazine. They made a game. I love that game. They went a more realistic route. And then there was like Matt Hoffman BMX. And then the BMXXX, which was awesome. It was like an adult game.
Okay, I was going to ask.
On console. It wasn't quite adult.
And Grant's favorite game.
But it had the same formula as Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
And then Tony Hawk, Activision started to do what they always do.
Fell off a cliff.
They just made them come out with a game every year for about 15 years. And then Skate came out, and finally a physics-based skateboarding game.
Yeah.
And it was loved by everybody.
Yeah.
And then 2 and then 3 came out. Then we haven't heard anything. And yes, a skateboarding renaissance could happen. A couple years ago, Session came out. Was really good. Came out with Skater XL, which are hyper realistic games. Very hard to get into. I played them. I love them. I think they're fantastic. And then they really have slowed down.
Yeah. It does feel like we're
waiting for Skate 4.
We're waiting for like the big one, like Skate 4, or possibly another. Well, the other thing is too, the newer Tony Hawk game 8, I think is what it was. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 8 or something like that.
I don't know.
I don't think was received nearly as well as people had hoped. But this could be the start of like them trying to find their roots again in this, and then we could get a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 9 or whatever is next. It could be amazing.
We talk about this all the time. There needs to be more sports games that are outside of the giant sports franchises like NFL, NBA, PGA.
Please.
Why can't, well, actually golf does pretty good with making like arcade style golf games, other type of games.
But it's easier to make those.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Walk about and
name me a golfer other than Tiger Woods right now.
But
like, you know, no offense. I'm just saying it's, you know, a lot less name recognition in that sport right now.
But so I do think there's plenty of room for a skateboarding game, a bicycle, a BMX game, stuff like that.
Totally. Yeah. Especially the alternate sports like that. Like an alternate's not the right word, but like
even just other Olympic sports.
We just need an Olympics game is what we need.
No, because it always coincides with the stupid Olympics committee and their
Give me the Olympics game. I want a blood dope and I want to win the 200 medley relay by 14 seconds.
I would love to play a multiplayer game where it is an Olympics, all these Olympic sports and games, and do the decathlon. I think it's called decathlon, where you ride a bike, swim, shoot.
Oh, yeah.
Run, shoot.
Yeah. They do that. That's both too. They do that's summer and winter.
Yeah,
because there's one.
You ski,
the winter one is
ski,
you cross country ski, and then you shoot, and then you ski again, and ride a bike or whatever.
Then bobsled.
Hey, we need an Olympics game, dude. They honestly should just have one super sport in the Olympics where it's all of them put together and it's just a long race. So you go one lap around the inline skating, you get out, you get in the bobsled, you push down the hill, you get out, you got to shoot or whatever.
So much potential. I mean, why can't the NFL or former football players do a Tony Hawk style game?
But
like an NFL street style.
They've tried.
Can't call it NFL though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. There's a lot more name and brand, like the brand recognition for a lot of those is so much more valuable than I think we give it credit for.
Either way, we're missing these.
Yes, true. 100%. I want them more than ever. I would like an alternate version. And even like you said, like the BMX games and whatnot, they've really kind of died on the vine recently.
They have mountain bike racing games, but they're not realistic and they're just bad.
Yeah, like the Ubisoft one.
Yeah.
Steep, I think is what it's called.
Well, Steep was okay.
And then the newer one.
They did Riders Republic.
There we go, yeah.
Terrible.
I kind of had fun with that game. But it's also just like ridiculous.
The first time you go down a hill, you're like, oh, this is okay. And then you do it over and over and over again, Ubisoft style.
Yeah, like in true Ubisoft fashion, I went to the biggest hill and I was like, okay, let's just go down this. And I was like, all right, that was fun. I think I got my experience.
Yeah, I think you got the entire game.
The whole game is just like this. Got it. Cool.
Just go raid another facility over and over and over again. Yeah. Another checkpoint, or what do they call it?
Outpost.
Just raise another flag on an outpost. Oh, God.
I can't wait for Far Cry 7.
Far Cry 7 comes out and it's anything like Far Cry 6, 5, or 4, or 3.
Guess what?
I'll buy you guys.
I got bad news for you. It sounds like that's where it's going. We did get like tiny bits of Far Cry news actually, like this week. Apparently they have an extraction shooter that is in the Far Cry
who does?
Base of family. Ubisoft. They're making like a Far Cry extraction style shooter in the Far Cry family, if you will. And that's 7, I think is what we're waiting on. It's supposed to be in 2026.
Well, Ubisoft also had this multiplayer game that was going to compete with Call of Duty, and it's a Call of Duty style arena shooter.
Yeah.
And it's free to play. And guess what?
It's dead.
Not only was it successful in the beginning because people were interested and it looked good,
but now it's dead.
They were so bad at developing this game. The problems from the beta a year before the game came out is still in there right now, and it's already pulled from the
And they also made the first quadruple A video game.
Let's stop ragging on them for...
Shout out Skull and Bones. Still doing as well as ever.
Jeez, Ubisoft, can you please... I've never seen...
We can't do Ubisoft again.
A company filled with awesomely talented people and IP for days.
Hey.
Just ruin everything.
Maybe
incompetence.
Maybe Shadows is the rebirth.
I doubt it.
Here's hoping. The other thing is, though, I'm going to play Shadows no matter what. Yeah, I could not care less.
Speaking of Shadows,
Yeah.
Actually, no.
Speaking of shadows, what was that segue? I'm trying to figure out what you wanted me to go to next.
Games coming out
there.
this week.
Okay. Speaking of shadows, Sonic. No, it's not out. Games releasing this week. We got a couple of big games coming out this week. Today, actually, one of them. 2 Point Museum. A lot of people are not probably going to play this. It's a business sim in the realm of like Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah.
And what's the other one that I mentioned?
It has physics like Wobbly Life. They kind of wobble around, but it's funny.
But in terms of business sim, it's like Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah.
You're checking on the concessions. Zoo Tycoon. That was the other one.
Zoo Tycoon.
This one, it's a business simulation video game. It's developed by the 2 Point Studios. They made 2 Point Hospital, which was pretty well received. Yeah, and 2 Point Campus, which is a college one. And this one, 2 Point Museum, comes out today as of recording this. It's getting very, very good reviews. High reviews.
Is it like a natural museum?
Yes.
Natural history
so
museum?
I think you can, from what I've seen, you can do like a natural history museum. You can also kind of convert it into more of like a science museum.
Oh, cool.
History museum, like
Art museum?
like American history museum, that sort of thing.
Sweet.
So
this game is usually, or these games are funny. I've only played the business or the hospital
one. Yeah. That was I think that was their first one.
Okay.
And it blew off the shelves because a lot of people liked it. I think I'm gonna play this. Doesn't seem like your type of game. I'm a little freaking museum guy. I like going to museums. So running my own museum and making it whatever I want. I'm gonna make a kite museum. Okay, and everybody's gonna love it.
A kite museum?
Kite. Yeah. Kite museum. So 2 Point Museum comes out today. PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. Check it out. Why not? It should be super cool. I'm excited for it. Again, it's not usually something that would typically be my cup of tea, but it's getting really good reviews. So
do this one first. Next, I mean.
Okay, so we talked about one split game called Splitgate 2, and now we have another split game that's coming out in 2 days. SplitFiction.
I had no idea this was coming out so soon. We just talked about this.
Yeah, they had a trailer.
It was the State of Play.
Oh yeah, was it really? That was like
Sony
3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, that's coming out on the 6th. Also getting very good reviews. Highly well reviewed.
Hazelight is the developers. Man, these guys knock co-op out of the park, dude.
Talk about somebody that is a team that hasn't missed yet. It feels like way out.
They don't sell very well.
It Takes Two, and now SplitFiction. Seems like they're doing.
Well, you can't forget
stuff.
the first one was Brothers.
Oh yeah, that one was very well reviewed too.
Yeah,
that was more of a top down though, wasn't it? Like top down adventure. Yeah. And this one, it's a mix of a bunch of different genres. Genre bending is what I've heard it was called. And there's a bunch. You're basically going through as two different writers and living out their nightmares / dreams.
Apparently, from what I've read with some reviews, Luke Riley from IGN, who I like a lot, reviewed it. And he said it's like somebody basically trying to get the creative, I guess, capital out of a writer.
Oh, right.
And they're like going against it in their own sort of way, in this weird sci-fi way. And
cool. Fantasy way too.
Yeah, fantasy. Yeah. And so it's like a side scroller. It's a 3D action. There's a platformer.
A bunch of different things.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Twin stick shooter.
Cool. Play with right now, it seems like you should play with your best friend.
Yeah.
Brother, sister, or whatever. Don't play with a loved one because that one was for It Takes Two.
It Takes Two.
You play with like a lover for It Takes Two. This game, it seems more like you play with a brother or a best friend or something.
This is
at least right now.
It seems like a friendship game.
Yeah, like a way out. You'd play with your best friend.
Test your friends, and then you kill each other at the end. Or
not this game. In A Way Out, that's a spoiler.
Yeah, I know,
but you should play A Way Out. It's great. That's actually a huge twist in that game. So heads up.
Come at me. The game's 10 years old.
That's true. To be fair, yeah. I mean, if you didn't know by now, I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing sitting around here?
I think It Takes Two, which is their last game, is one of the best 3D one of the best 3D platformers of all time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Of all time? Whoa,
I would say.
That just hit me like a car. Wait, of all time?
Yeah. I mean, I would put Mario 64 up there.
Yeah.
I would put Banjo-Kazooie up there. Maybe Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Okay. And I'm Alive and Reloaded guy myself.
And then maybe a one or two of the, what's it called? Ratchet and Clank.
Jax. Jack and Daxter.
Not Jack and Daxter. And then, I mean, I can't think of another one. I think It Takes Two. I think It Takes Two is far better than Astrobot.
Wow. Well,
and Zelda's not a 3D platformer, for God's sake.
There are there's a couple 3D platforming Zelda games, aren't there? They've made every game under the sun, though.
Maybe. I don't think so.
Huh.
It's mostly just 3D puzzle adventure games.
Next thing for them. 3D platform. Actually, that's probably too close to Mario. That's probably why they haven't done it, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. There's a couple of Mario Galaxy is really good. I don't know if you call that. Is that a platform? Yeah, of course it is, actually.
Is that the one with the stupid little hose guy on your back that shoots water? What am I thinking of?
That seems like Luigi's Mansion.
No. You have the hose guy on your back, and you have to spray
Mario
down
Galaxy
certain areas.
is a Wii game where you have a second player gather all the stars, and you are on like a ball with it's all gravity.
What the hell am I thinking?
Focused. I have no idea.
Okay, you land near an island.
Gosh, here we go.
You land near an island. You're with Peach and Mr. Small Yoshi or Small
Toad.
Thank you, man. Is that his wife or his husband? Is that her dad, by the way?
Who, Toad?
Yeah, is Toad Peach's dad?
I don't know. This is like a guardian sometimes, but usually it's like Toad is usually like a servant to Peach.
Okay, gotcha. You land on an island. You land near an island. And I don't remember why, but like Mario and Peach were going on vacation or something. And then they land near the island and you immediately get like this hose guy that goes on your back and you're like hosing stuff down.
That's Mario Sunshine.
Hate that game.
Yeah, I
hate that dude. I hate the stupid hose on the back.
Yeah.
That I can barely control. I remember playing that game. I think that game came on the Wii too.
People love that game.
I know.
We have a lot of Nintendo fans.
I'm sorry.
We have a lot of Nintendo fans.
I'm sorry. But that game, oh man, that game made me angry. All right.
I would say most of our fans are Nintendo fans. So
hey, you know what? More power to you. Okay, I'm sorry. Tell me if there's a Zelda 3D platformer game. I'm actually curious.
There is none.
Whatever. Fragpunk. Hey, if you want to shoot things and use cards to change the environment around you as a hero shooter as well, even though we didn't really realize it was a hero shooter, felt like they were kind of hiding that.
I mean, obviously it is, but
is it a hero shooter or is it an operator shooter? There is a difference. There is a difference. I'm tired of my brother telling me there's no difference between Siege and Marvel Rivals.
Okay, yeah.
There's a monster difference there, sir.
Yes, it's closer to Siege.
Okay, so they're operators.
Or Valorant.
Okay, gotcha. So it's still, the gunplay is still more important.
Here's the thing. Let's talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
Hero shooter. A hero shooter to me means a gameplay like Paladin's Overwatch. Right?
Yes. Agreed.
But technically, a hero shooter just means it's a shooter multiplayer game where you can choose characters that have their own set abilities.
Right. The difference for me for hero shooters is
they have to have a name and costumes and stuff like that.
But for me also, for hero shooters, it's
you need tank.
Yeah, it's much more divvied roles.
Yeah, roles.
But also a lot of these hero shooters, you have an ultimate ability. One ability that is stronger than every other one of your abilities or your partner's abilities, and you pair them with the other person.
Yeah.
They don't have that in the operator shooters that I can think of.
But Valorant does.
Yeah, that's true. And the other thing is too, the gunplay is a lot different. Like Valorant, Siege, you can use your ultimate ability. Yeah. I'm one-tapping you in the noggin, you're dead. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
But in the other hero shooters, I'm pumping just rounds after rounds of Soldier 76 ammo, and you're getting healed. I can't do anything.
This is more in line with Valorant. The level design is like a 3-lane Counter-Strike map.
Yeah.
I do like the map design. The map design is fantastic in this game. I like the cards which change up a bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. I have a question though, before I kind of get into it, because I played it a lot.
Wait, Fragpunk?
Yeah, in the beta.
Oh, the beta. Right. The beta.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Apparently, there's a lot more to this game than what we got to play in the beta, which is good. But there's a lot of hype for this game.
Yeah.
By the time this video comes out, the game's probably already out, and this question will be more relevant. But do you think the hype is worth it? Do you think this game deserves the hype? This is a first-time developer. I mean, it's NetEase published,
and they kind of can't miss right now.
No, you're right.
What I will say is, if we were to let's go backwards 4 months.
Sure.
Let's go backwards 4 months, and we saw
no one knows what this game was.
Marvel Rivals was coming out, and we thought to ourselves, Do we think this game deserves a hype? We probably all would have been like, no, this is another hero shooter that
honestly,
no one cares about.
Yeah, but I don't think that game was hyped as much as this game. Do you? Maybe because it came out during the end of December and there's other things going on.
And it's a Marvel game, so there's always hype around a Marvel game.
Yeah, and there's always Marvel games going. I couldn't remember. We couldn't tell if this was the mobile game or if this was the other game. We couldn't tell.
Shout out NetEase. You're really making it easy for us.
But this one is a shooter that this week specifically, in the last 7 days, it's been really pushed hard with influencers and Microsoft and PlayStation. Yeah.
But to be fair, like when that was another game that really had that kind of lead up to it, using in like influencers or whatever, streamers and stuff to promote it, that I can remember actually succeeding very well for at least a decent amount of time, was Apex. I remember when Apex was coming out, like they had a bunch of streamers playing that game, and then everybody wanted to play Apex. And there was also the kind of that void that people were missing, because it was right in between like Fortnite and PUBG was starting to die out a little bit, and they were needing a little bit of something different to wet their whistle, if you will. I hate that phrase.
Well,
and Apex was kind of that game. So maybe.
Well, here's the thing. I think the game is great, but it needs to be working on the back end. And it seems like Marvel Rivals and their servers have been flawless, I think. But this game, you're going to be able to tell a lot more, because it's a Counter-Strike style game mode where
the shots matter a lot more in this game.
More. So I think if it does like a Ubisoft game, what is it called? X Defiant, where it's fun, but then you start to realize that the foundation of this game is seriously flawed, people are going to drop off immediately. I think the game is fun enough for people to keep playing.
And NetEase, they really haven't like dropped the ball for the Marvel game. From obviously, people are still loving that game. And I think the shtick, if you will, for this game is very intriguing.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's very, very cool and interesting.
It's going to keep it from getting stale.
Yeah.
The game I was playing, Spectre Divide, a lot like this, especially the map design, very Counter-Strike inspired. But
it feels like it's very Valorant inspired too, like map design wise.
What is?
Fragpunk.
Fragpunk, yes.
Yeah.
I would say Valorant has this weird blocky style where it's supposed to be simple.
Yeah,
it's made to be very simple, and there's not a lot of intricacies to the map design. It's what your powers can do that change it up a lot. This game is more random powers, I guess, but it looks like the detail on the maps are more. There's more detail. But I don't know. It still has that blocky 3-lane thing. It seems like all these maps, all these games, they have simple map design, and I know they do it on purpose, but it's starting to get annoying.
But I think they have simple map design partially because they're making it for an audience that wants simple call outs.
It's true. But I mean, there are right angles everywhere. If you notice these games, like play Valorant and you'll notice just right angles everywhere. Then play Counter-Strike and you notice there's curves and there are elevation changes and a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Fragpunk does have more elevation than your average 3-lane game because you can just jump high. There's a lot of jumping in this game. A lot of launches, like cannon launches. What are those called? Oh, Halo things. Jump
cannon
in,
launches.
Go across the map.
Whatever. Grav lifts is what they're called in Halo.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Fragpunk. Will be interesting to see when that game comes out. I'm in
multiplayer bliss right now. I got a lot to play.
They're fine. It's finally here.
They listen to me.
Yeah. And to add to it, we got WWE coming out. The next game is here we go. Okay. I'm going to try this.
I like wrestling games. Wrestling games have a huge history in the world of video games.
Of course.
In the world, every generation, especially consoles, have had awesome wrestling games. Not lately though. It's just 2K.
Okay.
2K is 2K this game up.
Guess what? Hey, have you guys ever said to yourself, I want to play a wrestling game and run around a wrestling community in a wrestling style park? Then this is the game for you.
Tricycle, clown nose.
Welcome to WWE 2K25. It's a wrestling game, guys. All right. I don't know how much I can really add to this. Just like next week when MLB The Show comes out, I'll probably say it's a baseball game. All right. You kind of know what you're going to get out of that game. This next game, though, big time, huge early front runner for worst game name of the year.
Can you pronounce this? I know this franchise really well. I know these two games. It's an HD remaster.
It is called Suikoden.
Yep, you got it.
Suikoden 1 and 2, HD Remaster, Gate Rune, and Dunen Unification Wars.
Yep.
That's all the name. I didn't add any subtitles to that. That's the title of the game.
I'm going to say it.
This remaster. Okay. It's an HD remaster in the year of our Lord 2025 as well, which is hilarious.
Suikoden 1 and 2 are awesome games. But I think this whole package is called HD Remaster, Gate Rune, and Dunen Unification Wars.
Yeah. I looked it up on their site. That is what it's called.
Okay.
That's what it's titled.
Good. Suikoden 2 is awesome.
Dude, Konami, you know what you're doing, guys. I get it. Maybe would have gone a different direction with the title. It could be a translation problem. Maybe that's what it is. But regardless, it's also an HD remaster, which is so funny.
Yeah, HD.
We're having an HD
High
remaster.
definition now.
Yeah. Okay, dude. You can just call it a remaster.
Yeah, I know.
That's kind of brought into the title now.
This is like 15 years too late.
Yeah. So Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remaster, Gate Rune, and Dunen Unification Wars. It's top-down, turn-based JRPG. I'm staying the hell away from it.
I'll tell you right now, if you were to look up greatest stories ever told in RPGs, Suikoden 2 will be up there. It's an awesome story.
I would believe it a lot more if that was the name of the game by itself.
I used to call it Suikoden.
If they were just releasing, hey, Suikoden 1 and 2 remastered. Perfect. You nailed it. Guess what? It's not called that. It's 1 and 2 HD remaster, Gate Rune, and Dunen Unification Wars.
That is up there. That's going to be
an easy contender. Put that at minus 800 on the odds for worst game name of the year list. I mean, a big time early contender.
What was last year's worst name? I think
it was another JRPG.
Yeah, it was Dyschronia, something. But I think X Defiant really.
That one's bad too. That's really bad. We're starting. I mean, we got a couple multiplayer games here that are getting their names correct. Splitgate's a great name.
Yeah,
Fragpunk is a great name for a game.
It is. I mean, the art style is a little annoying, but yeah.
But it works. It makes sense. It's a lot better than X Defiant and Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, Gate Rune, and Dunen Unification Wars.
Oh my gosh! When you say it, it just makes it way worse.
Trying to go faster and faster because I want it to go get right by. So that comes out March 6th as well. So that's going to be out here in a couple days. If you're into the Gate Rune and Unification Wars, hop on it, dude.
It's awesome.
Hey, I believe you.
Suikoden's awesome. Good job, Konami. Konami's coming back, dude. I love that Konami's now in it.
We don't know. It's a remaster.
Konami is in it.
It's an HD remaster in 2025.
I mean, they're remastering Snake Eater, so.
Yeah, but they didn't call it that. It's
Metal
just
Gear
Snake
Solid
Eater.
Delta.
Yeah, Delta Snake Eater. Can you imagine Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater remaster? HD remaster.
Yeah.
Gotta die. Okay, let's get in.
What are you playing?
Mine's pretty easy.
We got 7 minutes.
PGA 2K25, that came out this past week. Yeah. There was early access the week before, and now I played the full game.
Demo.
Pretty fun. This game needs... So if you're into golf...
It needed a facelift.
Yeah, granted, I know not a lot of people are huge golf fans, whatever.
I am. Shout out
Dusty. It is a chill game. Like, it is very easy to just throw this on and start pounding 325-yard drives. It's awesome.
It's a good way to discover if your controller is broken.
That's true, too. Yeah, you do need to not have stick drag.
Yeah, not at
theoretically.
all. Or dust in it.
Yeah, or dust or anything. You got to have those sticks nice and clean, and you'll be good. Also, this game... Fun to play, but you got to really fine tune the difficulty in order to have like the best experience. Because there's like a lot of different things that go into the difficulty of this game, whether it be your rhythm or your timing and stuff. That all has difficulty stuff, as well as like the CPU difficulty meter as well.
Even control options.
Yeah, and like condition, like the condition of the course you can change in terms of difficulty.
Yeah.
You want to fine tune that and you'll have the best fun. If you're playing it too easy, it'll get boring very quickly. And if you're playing it too hard, it'll be too frustrating to watch.
I like how the online works in these games.
Yeah, I think they actually...
The ranking.
You know who could learn something from the way they do their online in this game? Freaking the F1 games.
Yeah,
oh my God. The F1 games. It's so easy. It's so easy just to get into a match, play the match, get out of the match. It is impossible for whatever reason in the F1 games to even try to do that.
I think F1 in a lot of racing games, they try to not ruin your experience with people who just want to ruin your experience.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair because that does happen.
If me and you're playing PGA golf, I can't go up to your golf club or your golf ball and hit it in front of you and then you like lose a turn.
That's true.
Or a stroke, I should say.
Yeah.
But you can do that in F1.
Oh yeah, F1 you can ruin it'll ruin your day. So but they could learn just in terms of the matchmaking and how easy it is in this game for a PGA game. Codemasters, just change something, man. I'm begging you, please. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been playing. I was gone on vacation, so I didn't play a whole lot.
Did you golf on vacation?
No, it still wasn't warm enough to do that yet.
In Oklahoma too, huh?
Yeah, well, everything's still dead. I mean, there's not, spring's not here yet. So,
it's snowing outside.
It snowed here. I came back and it immediately snowed. Great.
Thanks, James.
Yeah. I bring the sad weather.
You bring the sads.
I bring
can I tell you what I'm playing?
Go ahead.
So, playing a few games. Besides the betas I just mentioned. Armored Core 7, started that up again.
Is that the new one?
Yep.
Okay.
Fires of Rubicon.
Yeah.
Oh man, I forgot how good this game is. So good. Very hard.
It's a FromSoft game.
But I actually got a... what is it called? Strategy guide? A big old hardback book with lore and everything. What? It's awesome. Yeah. It's like thick. Spent like $20 on it. Used.
And when you went to buy it, they were like, you want to why don't you just look it up?
From stuff. I have like the Elden Ring lore book. I have Bloodborne.
That makes sense. Yeah. The Elden Ring lore book makes sense because you got to read that to understand what the hell's going on in that game.
So, but they're cool. It's got great artwork and it's fun. But I can finally now build a unit or a VC. I think that's what they call it. What do they call it? Armor Cores, AC. A competent one, because there's a lot of intricacies when it comes to preparing for the mission.
Yeah.
And it helps out a lot when you know the best option to go with. And so I'm having a lot more fun now. And it seems to be a lot more easy now.
This is why I think Mecha Break's going to be more up my speed. It's Mecha Break's Armor Core for babies.
Yeah. It's
for little babies.
That's what I don't think you can customize that much like you can in AC.
It's a little bit more restricted. Which I'm okay with.
And then I was playing a VR game that is really underrated called Vertigo 2, which...
the name makes me want to throw up.
Yeah, you're right. No, it's more in line with like Half-Life Alyx than any other game. Okay. So it's kind of a shooter, but it's funny. It's got funny characters, funny enemies. Mm-hmm. Enemies that are just... they're aliens, but they're really goofy aliens. So think of like Rick and Morty.
Okay.
Style aliens. I know they had that game, so it's kind of like that.
I was gonna say I can't remember the name of the game.
Yeah,
that came out on Xbox.
Yeah,
that game kind of came and went.
It did. It had weird fuzzy problems. There was like a fuzziness over it. It was annoying.
If only there was some way we could find the name of the game.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna talk about that. So, anyways, Vertigo 2. It's good. I highly recommend it. It's on PSVR 2 as well as PC and MetaQuest.
You know what? Well, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a good Half-Life like first person shooter in VR. And that's all you got to say to me.
You know what I think would be a really good game that could make the jump to VR relatively easily?
What?
The Killing Floor games.
Yeah, that's a little too hectic, but
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong.
That was another beta that was out. Jeez, man.
3. Yeah.
And people didn't like it.
Oh no, we're going to get a Payday 3 thing for Killing Floor.
Yeah.
No.
I think we might. All right, and then I was playing. I really wanted to play a stealth game. I'm into stealth.
Is that your
Karate Man?
Yeah, well, he's playing. He's excited for Shadows.
I like Thief. I like the Thief franchise. Deadly Shadows was a game on the original Xbox that I loved, and then Thief 2, the Dark Ages. I can't remember. Was awesome too on my PC back when I used to PC game a lot more in the day, the Counter-Strike days. And then so I played the PS4 version Thief. Remember that game? It's like a remaster, a remake, a reboot. It's actually a sequel, but it's a reboot. And I love that game. And a lot of people crapped on this game. And I actually liked it when it came out. There was a section in the game that was terrifying. And I played it again on my PS5 and it runs like crap. There are a couple PS4 games that run like absolute crap on PS5. One of them is The Warriors, and it tells you right in the beginning. It says this game runs terribly on a PS5.
Wait, what's The Warriors?
The Warriors, the Rockstar game.
That was a PS4 game?
It is a PS2 game, but remastered in PS4.
Oh, okay.
So the remastered version is also on PS5, but it tells you right up. It says this game runs like crap. So it's better to be played on a PS4.
Right.
And Thief does the same thing.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know, it's really stupid. I don't know why Sony can't handle it. They can't get their games.
We don't know how to optimize our own video game. for the
drives me
next
crazy.
console.
And then so I was like, I'm going to play Dishonored. And then I was like, on my PS5, because the Thief was running terribly and I want to play a stealth game in first person. And so I was like, let's get Dishonored. I love that game.
I never played any of the Dishonored. I need to.
The first one's really, really good. The story's stupid.
Well, yeah.
But
so
it's always in the background, and then it feels better when it's in the background.
So I mean, so is the one that the shooter that they made. The story's stupid as hell in that game, but it's awesome.
Yeah, I never played that one.
Yeah, you need that one's great.
So I started playing on my PS5 Dishonored, and it runs at 30 frames, and it runs like crap. And I was like, "What is going on with my PS5?" And I looked up, everybody's like, it doesn't scale up. And this is the definitive edition that came out for PS4. And I remember I bought it on my PS4 because the original game came out for 360 and PS3. And when they remastered it for PS4, it was a terrible remaster. I figured the PS5 would at least run it in 60. Nope. Turn on my Xbox and guess what? Dishonored is on Game Pass and it runs at 60 frames, 4K.
The definitive edition?
Yeah, with the FPS boost.
Xbox? You're getting it right. Sounds like
Xbox is way better when it comes to multi-platform games.
Yeah, definitely optimization for every one of the games. It's weird. It's like Sony is like, hey, we're gonna make a new console with the same name, but it's gonna have none of the qualities of the previous one.
It's like
so none of the other games work.
Doesn't like their customers.
Yeah. Well, they want you to rebuy everything.
Hey, do you like PlayStation Classics? Guess what? I bet you like Killzone, but you're gonna have to stream it from our crappy streaming service.
Yeah, true.
Anyways, but Dishonored is really, really fun. I forgot how fun that game is.
Also, now you say that, I wonder if it runs better on Xbox because it's technically a Bethesda game.
Well, they had they made it,
so they were able to optimize it easier for Xbox.
They gave it FPS boost. Yeah. Remember when they were doing that?
FPS boost.
Yeah.
Shout out Dishonored, man. I gotta play those games.
Dishonored's great.
Yeah.
Part 2 is also good, but the story's even stupider. But I think the level design is great.
What's the name of that? Deathloop.
Deathloop.
Yeah, that game's awesome. Thief, by the way, the original Thief, one of the more, without spoiling it, game story that takes one of the more insane left turns that I can remember.
What, in the reboot?
No, in the original. The original Thief.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I don't want to spoil it.
No, that game is a long time.
Yeah, but because you're talking about Thief, you're talking about the reboot. Maybe people want to go back and play it,
and I don't remember.
Isn't it?
It's like you go to the haunted area.
Yeah, and he's trying to get he's literally trying to get like the
Garrett.
the key that opens like Pandora's box or something.
Yes,
but like up before that, it wasn't like giving off the vibe that it was a fantasy game. It was just a thief game in the Dark Ages or whatever.
Yeah. They're
like, hey, guess what? You're going to open a literal box of hell.
Yeah, there's a huge fantasy component. To Thief.
But it comes out of nowhere. Is what I mean.
You're right.
Yeah,
it's almost in every single one of their games. Mm-hmm. It's in the reboot too. And they tell you in the very beginning because you go to like a cult like thing and a bunch of a bunch of like spirit stuff comes out. I don't know.
Shout out
it's a gothic
Thief.
Horror thief simulator.
It's like Kingdom Come Deliverance, except you can't swing a sword. You're stealing keys.
Yeah. It's not as good either.
That's it.
All right, we got to go.
We're freaking done, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be back next week. We'll talk more video games. Remember to like, follow, subscribe. I always forget the last one. Rate. You got to rate the show on the podcasting platforms as well.
And share.
The big 4. And share too. Big 5. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back next week. See ya.
Peace.